We go live now. In Soviet Russia, assholes consult you. No, wait, that's capitalism. In Soviet Russia, you consult the assholes. Hi, Aaron. Happy New Year and hope you are well. How backed up are you with video requests? I am very backed up. Your email request more convenient. Give me your parent. No, I could just bang them out this way just as well. I may just consolidate the pricing the same. I have an interesting situation at work with the career opportunities. Your feedback and perspective is appreciated. Please keep the figures below confidential if you can for a video request. All right, I'll try. Apologies in advance for the long email, but details help. Please let me know. Background, you're a youngish single male, no known kids, living in Las Vegas, IQ of 138. Thanks again for the recommendation to check out that part of Las Vegas. Love it here. Constant sun and the conveniences, prices. Well, I don't think I go on a far limb saying, get the fuck out of California. Move out of Seattle. You know, if there are people shitting in your streets, shitting in the streets, you probably should move. If tent cities show up, you should probably move. Those are not your people. I work for a tech company. I've been an employee for almost 8 years. The company has grown 500% there during my tenure from what would be considered a small company to a medium-sized company. It's even maybe big. You have a stock price that has gone up more than 100-fold. And I won't mention the prices. I joined the company to build and manage sales, which has since your sales has grown 150-fold. Your sales portfolio that you're in charge of. Boo-da-boo, boo-da-boo. And I'm not going to mention all this other stuff because it would identify you. I currently make $230,000 take home and have another $200,000 equity that vests per year in the ESOP program. All right. Have 2.5 more years of stock remaining. Right. I have what I need. I'm simple and have low overhead. Doing well financially with the recent market rise. Yeah, until it goes down. But until you sell, you didn't make or lose the money. I can't live on investments yet, but my plan is going well so far. I've definitely put a lot of miles with this gig, but maintain awareness that I certainly got lucky with the situation, and I am thankful. So you've been there how long? You've been there for a while. Okay. The boss. My boss is a boomer, male, and has been my manager throughout your entire tenure. He's married and has a family. That's his education. You're trying to not mention things, man. Keep me anonymous. We'll stop giving. Just give me the real key critical numbers I need to know. Sounds like a nice family. Relationship with him was cordial early on. At the 2-year mark, it became obvious that the business he was working on was not going anywhere, and the things I was working on were doing very well. Without getting into all the stories, there's a good deal of unspoken resentment he holds, and there's been more tension in our relationship over the years as my role has expanded. I have no fear of my manager. He's approachable and non-threatening. We don't have much in common in job. You're not supposed to have anything in common with your boss. Your boss is your boss. Hi, boss. What do you want me to do today? Gee, Brian, what do we do tonight? Same thing we do every night, Pinky. I don't know why there's this relationship with bosses. I don't even know why there's happy. Come on out to the family of the corporate family event. Go fuck yourself. Wait, are there any hot wives around? Maybe I will show up. I'm kidding. I just want to know if there are any hot daughters around. That's the way to get promoted. Bang the CEO's daughter. But when we disagree, we're not disrespectful towards each other. That's great. That's great. However, we rarely speak one-on-one anymore. Well, you rarely talk to your boss. If there's a disagreement, it's handled professionally, and it's worked this long. Dude, that sounds like a great boss. I mean, maybe you don't want to go play poker with them, but would you like to hear some of my boss stories? And then the FBI paid my boss a visit. Hello, Agent Smith. How may I help you? Fraud, you say? Embezzlement? No, not here. Not our distinguished clients. Opportunities. Over the last 2 years, I've been approached by recruiters and companies for vice president senior roles. I'm no longer interviewing with startups as those are shit shows, I agree, which has been the majority of these job solicitations. Good. Currently have an opportunity in the works with a large public company for a VP role. Take-home pay would be around $300,000 to $400,000, but I likely wouldn't get stock options, only additional potential bonuses. My corporate ladder elevation is inevitable at some point if I stay healthy and take the right risks. Challenge 1. Late last year, my manager was denied along with our whole team. Demoted along with our whole team. He formerly reported to one higher up. Now he reports to that higher up's adjutants. Well, he has made good contributions to the company, has been loyal. I believe the reason for the demotion is a combination of his age and declining performance. His new manager is 15 years younger. Oh, Gen X taking out you boomers one at a time. Yeah. Oh. After he told me that we were going to be demoted, I told him I wanted a raise. I didn't necessarily care about the money, but just wanted to see how he and the company would react. He initially agreed, but when I told him what I wanted to make, I'm pretty sure I saw him crap his pants on a call. A couple weeks later, he said that he could make it happen with something. I don't want to mention what it is. We don't need to get you in trouble. Meaning it would reduce my base salary to give me the potential for more earnings. Boy, these corporations just don't get it. They just don't get it. You want me to work more? Pay me more. Well, here's kind of more, but not really more. Look, we'll give you a shiny plastic trophy from Wells Fargo saying you was a good boy. You was a good boy. Yes, you were. You got the most sales of all the televisions, your little plastic trophy. Oh, this certainly is worth more than money. When I told him that was unacceptable, he threatened to change my team's comp plan and reduce their base salaries as well. I believe he called my bluff. I also believe he was bluffing as well, but I've not confirmed this. I've considered going over his head to confirm, but have not yet due to the delicate situation. I talked him off those threats, and we agreed to do nothing. I've not spoken one-on-one since. Blah, 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 blah. Challenge 2, I'm bored as fuck in this role. Probably 15 levels past normal boredom, and it has been like this for a while, years. I'm both a thinker and highly industrious. This is not good for me. To cope with this boredom, I've listened to around 600 audiobooks over the last few years, pilfered every best film or album of all time list on the internet, corrected my unhealthy lifestyle. Oh, you lost significant weight. That's good. That's very good. You're not saying that to brag, just to show you how bored I am. Overall dilemma, do I stay in this toxic but lucrative and cushy situation to collect the money and conserve energy and just wait for the right external opportunity? I plan on delegating everything and doing almost nothing. Or I take the risk and move up the corporate ladder elsewhere and make more take-home pay, but probably less overall compensation. I generally like my role, most of the people I work with, but I have my narrative for my tenure here, and I would likely be furthering someone else's narrative if I stay. If you are not the owner of the company, you are advancing somebody else's narrative. That's how employment works. And you're not one of these, but one thing that I get really tired of with lazy left is, these corporate executives make more money than me. Well, why don't you start a company? And the is English SJW, limp-wristed soy boy leftist parasite but I don't want to work hard at it. I just want the money. Because all lazy liberal leftists are lazy fucks. But don't fall for that. You work for a company. However many years ago, a group of guys and gals got together and said, we got a business idea. We're going to do it. This is their company. You're going to advance their narrative, their profits. Yes. Oh, now, ideally, they compensate you with a wage, which they do. But I have my narrative for my tenure here and would likely be for someone else's narratives if I stay. All right. I'm not asking you to make a decision for me. Just want to get your perspective. If you read my situation in a different light than I do, based on your corporate experiences. Well, look, my corporate experience, you cannot take my corporate experiences and apply them to yours unless you're in banking or finance or insurance or something other skeezy like that. The finance world, as you may have known, is completely corrupt, completely inept, and headed up by a bunch of like microscopic limp dick, toothpick dick dude bros with their MBAs. And they need bailouts like once every 15 years because they're lazy. They're incompetent. So it's my experiences are, I've never been, well, actually I have been a vice president. Never mind, take that back. But it wasn't at like a real company like yours. I mean, it was a company, but so once you get into these, you were at an employer for 7 years. The longest I ever worked for anybody else was 3.5 years. So that was security. So I've not had any experience in middle to upper management, let alone senior executive management. Possible solutions. Should I go above his head and approach some executive in confidence to see if I still have any upward mobility or if I'm fucked because my boss is moving backwards? I don't think I've ever done that before. Good move or no? No. Any solutions that you have that I haven't thought of? All right. Where'd you let Now, okay, if you say, I currently have an opportunity in the works with a large public company. Did you get a job offer? Let's start with the basics. Don't quit your day job until you got another one. All right. I would also change your attitude about, well, I'm not advancing in my career. Dude, fuck it. If you're a minimalist, I know you might have career goals, but more important than that is your life goals. I see this happen a lot of time with you talented, high income earning guys. I'm a minimalist. I want peace and quiet and calm and serenity, early retirement, but I need to make 400,000. It's like, no, wait, hang on. If your life goal is to be early retired, minimalist, doing whatever it is you want to do, fishing, motorcycle riding, whatever, now that you're in Vegas, hiking, whatever you want to do, and you don't need that much money, and you're already trying to save up a lot of money, you got your house paid off, and things are going very well for you, does you putting your career advancement above making money, although the two would go hand in hand, I'm trying to make a very distinguished point, does your desire to advance your career and get into higher management and am I on the right track? Where's my boss going? I anchor to my boss. Does that help you get to your goal of early retirement, minimalism, enjoying life, and never having to work this corporate rat race again? Or is it towards getting the money so you could go live your life? And that's what I'm kind of saying. It's like, well, I'm attached to my boss. It really reminds me of boomer shit. Like, I like this backstabby corporate office politics, War of the Roses crap. Oh, my boss is going, but I'm anchored to him. Well, and I'm trying to go over his head. And I'm like, so I'm like, look, you make great money now. If those options are vested, I don't know how your option situation works. Maybe we could talk about that a little bit later. But if those, like, if in 2.5 years, all of a sudden you're going to have enough money, and assuming the stock market doesn't crash and yada, 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 like what kind of stock price does that stock have to be at for you to retire early? Like, ask yourself the question. In 2.5 years, you keep doing what you do, assuming the company doesn't go bankrupt or anything, will you have achieved your financial goals of essentially FU money? All right. Well, that's pretty good. This job will work. It may not be the job you want, and you may not be advancing in corporate career, get to president, CEO, or executive officer. But it pays. It's the money. It's all the job, guys. It's just a job, man. It's just a job. Whether your boss gets demoted or promoted, they have donuts or they have biscuits, they have coffee or they have tea, or it doesn't matter. It's just how much money did you make in exchange for those 8 hours a day of your life that you gave up? And so if you're a single guy, do some budgeting. Like, how much do you need? What do you think you need? Go get Poor Richard's Retirement to see what's the basic bare minimum you need. And then reverse engineer, all right, which route, the new job or this current job, gets me there, or do they both get me there? So I put that in perspective. Number two, you do not, I don't forget philosophy. Is it my career or is it the money I make? And what are my life goals? Do not quit your job until you got another job offer. Don't even think about pulling any power play bullshit like that, like going over his head, unless you got another job offer. And if you're sensing, and I don't get into this, read the tea leaves, but if your boss is being demoted and he's being, he's not performing as much, but you've been the stellar performer, and if you have the slightest bit of a savvy manager above him, they'll recognize that and realize that. If you have another job offer in hand, and boy, I just don't trust corporations. Like, there's always the chance, like, oh, I got a job offer, and then they renege it after you quit your job. Like, that would be I mean, there's not a high chance of it happening, but it's happened. But don't do any power plays with your current job until you have another job in your hand. And I think the adroit and polite and politically correct way to go about doing that is you accept it. Not saying you should. You accept the other job offer, and then you go to your boss and like, I got another job offer. And you bring in not only your boss, but the boss. And now is the time that you can maybe just go over your boss's head, but bring both of them in. Because now you have the control. You have the power. You got a better job offer. Say, look, I got a job offer. Right? And now you can start politely listing your requirements and demands, not just for salary, but like, hey, what's going on? One, here's my required salary for me to stay. All right. I don't know. I really like it here. I really like it here. But, I feel that my career is stagnating here a little bit. Now you could give them, where's my career going? And we got demoted. And I just need to know, what the deal is. But I really would like to continue to work here, but I need to know that I'm going to be able to grow as a professional. And I need this amount of money. And, if that, I kind of would like to stay here, but I understand you guys got budgetary constraints. I don't know where this division or department is going, but you can't take that action until you got the other job offer. So that's another thing to consider, another bullet in your chamber. Do I stay in this toxic but lucrative and cushy situation? How is it toxic yet cushy? You're working from home. How toxic can it be? Toxic is where you're sitting there trying to sell cell phone plans over at the strip mall's Sprint store. All right, that's toxic. If anyone's ever worked at a cell phone store, you probably know what I'm talking about. I haven't, but I have buddies that have. And the stories. Because when you're dealing with such low-grade people, they have to have a purchase plan for a $500 phone. You're like dealing with some real shitbergs. Oh. All right, so it looks like you can Dilbert yourself way. Lucrative but cushy situation. Collect more money, conserve energy, and just wait for the right external opportunity. I plan on delegating everything and doing almost nothing. Cool. That's the Dilbert way. That's what I would do if you're going to stick with that job. Or do I take the risk to move up the corporate ladder elsewhere and take more take-home pay, but less overall compensation? All right, well, here's what we got to think about. And this is where the grass is not necessarily greener on the other side. You have got to evaluate the fuck out of this other company that I think has given you a job offer. You got to go through the Glassdoor reviews. You got to cyber stalk the hiring manager who you're going to be working for. You get on their LinkedIn profile. You Google search their name. You put the quotations around it. You find out. You find people that worked for him. You come up, what was he like? But at minimum, Glassdoor reviews, and there's like ratemyboss.com. See if he or she is up there. Because you got a good situation now, right? And you're thinking the grass is greener on the other side. Go and actually check it out to the extent maximum possible to find out if it is greener on the other side. Because so far this job has worked for you, and it's paid you a lot of money, still paying you a lot of money. And it's going to get you where you want to go financially, I think, based on your life goals. You got to figure out what those are yourself. But I'm not saying you don't take a calculated risk either. And what would help you in making this decision, or what I could contribute to your thought process, is get more information, get more data, research like I have a buddy. I won't mention who she is. A wonderful, sweet girl. She's a hard worker too. Makes over 6 figures. Very good at her profession. And then she decided to move companies. I'm like, oh, that's interesting, because you were making good money over there. You seem to enjoy your goal. Oh, it's not my business. A month later, now she's looking for another job. And I said, what happened? Like, oh, I work for this company. And she told me the company. I'm like, oh, that company? She's like, yeah. I'm like, dear, did it ever dawn, because it's within my field. I said, did it ever dawn on you to ask me whether you should do that? Because I could have told her it was going to be bullshit. Well, she gave up a really good position. Now she got to go find another one. And now she's at a disadvantage because she doesn't have the power anymore. She doesn't have a job offer. You really need to research this employer. And if it's a large publicly traded company, there's going to be your diversities and the sit downs and the boring meetings and the general corporate politics and especially at a VP level. I can't imagine. But at the same time, here's another thing to look. If that's a big publicly traded company, you go to their webpage and see how all about because I don't know if you're white. I know you're male, but if you're white and you're VP, they may not have room for you beyond that. They also may say, ooh, but we need a woman, because that just makes things better. Forget hard work, forget meritocracy, forget experience. Do you have a vagina? Because that's totally not sexist, but it's a reality you get to face. Like, once you start getting up there, like, ooh, we need a woman on the board. I know Frank, his name's not Frank. I know Frank has worked really hard and he's ideal for the situation, but let's go pluck this girl from another company that maybe doesn't have quite the years experience, doesn't have it hasn't worked here as long, doesn't know the corporate culture, but vagina checkmark box. And that's what I'd kind of be worrying if you're starting to get into those upper levels of management. But at the same time, I'm not against it. Like, you seem to have what's it. I've never seen a job offer of 350 to 400,000. Just like, I'm like, wow, that's it's a lot. It's like 10 times a lot. I've never seen that many zeros at a job offer before. Boy, that must be nice. So I think you have what's it. Again, I'm not saying don't take the promotion or the other job, but research the hell out of that company before you even take their job offer. And I don't care what methods you got. Well, I do care what method. Don't stalk the guy physically. You got to find out if that company is worth it. Find out all the other people. What's turnover like? I want to talk to some employees. I'd like to talk to them. What's going on here? Talk to the secretary. Secretaries, they know mostly what's going on. And if it looks like it's on the up and up and it's good and there's no BS, I'd argue for a non-refundable hiring bonus. Because you have a job, you don't need to take this job. Like, I want $50,000 hiring bonus, not refundable. Make sure you guys have vested skin in the game. I don't come up here and you change my job duties because you're just a crisis management shit show. And while I was being interviewed here, you put on this Potemkin Village type of apparatus for me to, oh yeah, they got their shit going on. So that'd be that. Yeah, research the hell out of your other job offer and the boss and the company and all that. Accept the job offer. All right. Okay, you have to decide then if it looks good, do you want to go to the other side? I'm not against it. I mean, the pay sounds like roughly the same thing. Pay's going to definitely get you to where you need to be, especially if you're going to be a minimalist. I mean, you can work there 2 years. I mean, the savings alone that you didn't have from California's income taxes, holy cow. Then you got vice president at a publicly traded firm. Not bad on the resume. You stick it out, no matter how bad it is, put 3 years in or whatever. And I don't know, maybe I'm always cynical. I guess it's going to be sucky and da-da-da-da-da. Who knows? Maybe it's the greatest thing ever. And they start grooming you for CEO. And you want it. But research the company, the employer, the boss, the culture. Go look at how if they have like a diversity and inclusion statement. We here at the XYZ Corporation. Oh my God, da-da-da. And then if you think, yeah, I like that. If you want to take that job and you're prepared to take that job, accept the job offer. If you're not sure, it's 50-50. I'd still accept the job offer and then go in and not bluff. You're not bluffing anymore. I got a job offer. And try and get more out of your current employer. But when you take that job offer, go into your say, all right, here's the deal. I really like working here, but blah, blah, blah. I'm not certain what my career path is with this company. And so I got another job offer now. What guarantee? One, I'd like higher income. What guarantees do you have are going to give me that I will continue to grow professionally within your organization and not stagnate? And if you can't guarantee that because of managerial concerns or financial concerns or the market or whatever, that's fine. I just need to know. Oh, we got to think about it. And they'll have to think about it. And this is where the other guy that you called in, your boss's boss, will then go talk to his boss. Oh my God, Frank's leaving. Oh my God, we didn't tell Frank he was mission critical to everything. We've just been sitting here jerking off to porn this entire time. I don't want to actually work. I enjoy jerking off the porn, Bill. What are we going to do with all our daily jerk off to porn? All right, Frank. Well, all right. And there's no like performance shit. Here's my money. I keep my. I'd even go like, yeah, my stocks are vested now. I mean, because you got my stocks are vested now. And then you accelerate a little. Then you go, I'm sorry, my current employer countered. And then, but you're going to be stuck with your employer, and there might be some residual. Fucking Frank having self-respect and demanding he's paid what he's worth. God darn it. So, but yeah, if I had to take a bet, that's a lot of money. And if it looked like the company was on the up and up, and the hiring manager, the boss, was good Glassdoor reviews and everything, I'd probably take the job offer. Yeah. Because, I don't know. You seem to be on the right track. I've never been I'd like to know people like, yeah, I know this guy started here and he ranks through the ranks. He's CEO. Yeah, he's a great guy. It works. But if you're comfy where you are now, you don't want to rock the boat. I don't know. You're not in a bad situation either way. I think you're going to achieve your life goals financially in either place. It's just I'm trying to find you the best way to get there. So there you go. Any super chats? Oh, we got a couple here. All super chats will go to. Should we donate all super chats to Atham today? We're only like $300 away. Well, $350 away from raising enough money for his vasectomy fund. Should we? We're going to donate all donations today. Put AV though next to it so I'm reminded. All donations today will go to Atham's vasectomy fund because we love that little Mexican. He's actually quite a tall Mexican. He's 6'1". The Competent Man for $5. Advancing in career, the extra work for minimal extra pay is usually not worth it, especially the loss of time can never be recovered. Vacation, I think this guy's new, for $5. Hello, Vacation. What do these people do when they go into a coffee shop, work on their laptops, and make six figures? I know programming is one thing. Pretty much all business work, though, can be done over the internet. So you could be a corporate manager, a corporate executive. I know project managers can do it. I remember a friend of mine has a boss, and I saw her boss at this coffee store. I'm like, hey, what's up? And he's like, oh, hey, how you doing? You're like, oh, how you doing? I'm just working on I think it was an engineer, architect. He had plans. Yeah, I mean, unless it's a trade, technically no real job has to be done from an office. It can be done from anywhere. And so you're going to see more and more people working from coffee stores or beaches. But truth be told, the people working from coffee stores, unless they're, I'll be completely prejudgmental here. Unless they have some gray hair, they're not making money. I'm just saying. I put together a meme one time. It was the Captain Kirk meme where Captain Kirk's looking very serious, but then he's got his little smirky smirk, Captain Smirk. And I was working at a coffee store, and I was typing, furiously working away. And I looked around, and basically they're all a bunch of leftist, low testosterone soy boys and soy girls. And then pink hair and tattoos, and like, they actually only had scarves. and I'm like, huh. So I put a meme together. So the serious Captain Kirk was, when you and 50 other people are 50 other authors are furiously writing at a coffee store. And then the Captain Smirk one says, but you're the only one making a living at it. And it was true. It's just true. Yeah, the 24-year-old girl who's studying her master's, yeah, she's making lots of money. She's making six figures. Or the old retired people who have the Vietnam vet hat. They're retired. They're not making the money. But then you look at like the the beatnik Rachel Maddow glasses. And if they could have it, they'd have a cigarette and they'd have their French beret and they'd be thinking of pondering and tossing their scarf up. Oh, I'm the artiste. Like, yeah, they're living off a government grant to make shitty art. So there's not that many people make it. So you just need, if it looks like a normal guy or a normal gal, and they got just a little bit of gray, although women dye their hair now, but if she's a svelte, professional looking woman, she might actually be making the money. You should talk to her. Brother John 3. The grass may seem to be greener on the other side, but it still has to be mowed. Yeah, my experience has been the grass is not greener on the other side. It's usually brown. It's usually shit brown. They spray paint it green. See? We're a great corporate culture and a corporate family. So I know we hired you for X, but we're going to have you do A, B, and C, which is totally beneath you and totally not what you want to do. But we changed things in the past 12 hours. Nonstop Dre, our good buddy, majoring in STEM. But Capity, they say diversity is our strength. Yeah. You know who says that? Losers. Losers say that. People who need other people's money say that. Parasites say that. Nonstop Dre again for 2. Oh, by the way, Dre's black, so everyone is like, that was racist. Right there. And I bet you, if I may speak for Dre, he'd probably give you that figure right there. But it would be black. It wouldn't be white. Nonstop Dre, $2. What would Cappy do with over a 300K year salary? Same thing I'm doing now. I mean, I like maybe there's going to be a residual mortgage with my house that I'm building. I pay that down off. I would go and set up another house or like at least have a bank account overseas or have some kind of assets. I'll probably buy land overseas. So I don't have to maintain it or anything like that. I just own the land. It can't be confiscated. And it's not money in an account that can be taken away. It's not a house that needs to be maintained. I probably just buy land in that Croatian village I want to be left alone in. And then when President Ocasio-Cortez and a renegade band of misfit fuck-up parasites who've never worked a day in their lives because vagina says, we need your monies because you have oppressed us. I'm like, fine, here's the house. You won't be able to maintain it anyway. And then I go into my nice Croatian village with my cup of tea, and I cut my bonsai tree, even though I don't know if a bonsai would grow in Croatia. It's kind of southern Mediterranean. That might work. Adriatic. But I wouldn't buy no fancy clothes. I would get like a nice used Mustang, like a 2012. And I maybe would even spend the money to drop a Shelby package in it because I like the way the 2012 Mustangs looked, and I'd have it black. I don't know if I'm going to have it black with gold racing stripes or blue with white racing stripes. And I'm not kidding. The rest of my money, I would probably, I know this sounds so stupid, but I'd probably give it to charity. Very likely that organization that gets people freed out of jail who are wrongly convicted. Because at least there's a tangible result. Save the children from the poverties and the hunger. You haven't done that yet, have you? These people have results. They get innocent people out of prison. I like to see the results, asshole. Was it the Me Too campaign with Reese Witherspoon? Don't quote me on this, but there was a bunch of gals that put together a Me Too fund, and I think like out of millions raised, 100,000 actually made it to women. The rest all went to parties and speakers, espresso. Our aspiring accountant agent in the field, David Little, said I used to be a Sprint salesperson. There you go. You know what I'm talking about, Dave. Right. Exactly. He knows. Oh, I feel sorry for you, Dave. Nonstop Dre again, $2. This is for Athens vasectomy. Cappy's helping minorities. They say you're racist. Here, you guys want something funny to do? Here's something funny to do. Everybody, are you looking for something funny to do? Why, yes, I am. Well, here, I got something for you. Go look at my book, The Black Man's Guide Out of Poverty, on Amazon. Now, let's think about the title, The Black Man's Guide Out of Poverty. So I don't know if you understand English too well, but see, it's a good thing. It helps black men get out of poverty. So that's the translation of the title. That's what the intention of the book is, anyway. And read all the one-star reviews from black guys and black women like, he's racist, he's a rib by a white man, he can't write this. It's like, dude, helping not fellow black man, helping your fellow man who happens to be black, that's racist because I'm white. And it just shows you, like, there's some groups of people out there, man. I'm not talking black people. I'm talking like groups of people who are so wedded to their politics that, here's a perfect example. Girls, stop majoring in stupid shit. That's sexist. No. What's sexist is women's studies professors and liberal arts professors lying to you and telling you follow your heart and money will follow. All right? That's bad. Me telling you girls to not major in stupid shit actually is more love, care, and consideration you've gotten than any of your K through college educators, teachers, professors, guidance counselors, and dare I say your parents. But, it's asshole consulting, not suck your dick consulting and tell you what you want to hear because Oprah. And we're helping Atham. We're not helping Atham because he's a minority. We're helping Atham because he's a sad, pathetic man. When you look at him like, oh God. Oh God, somebody help this poor thing. It could barely function. James Rakin, $5. Is any 1099 job part of the superior class as long as you're paid a livable means, or does it have to be a high-paying job like coding? No, look, even if it's just a small little, like you make $500 a year, it's $600 a year. You need to get $600 a year to get a 1099. Otherwise, people don't report it. But if you get a 1099, that means you generated some kind of self-employment service. You provided a service that got paid as an independent contractor, as a self-employed person. You're a cadet. You're a plebe. What do they call it? You're a junior cadet. You're not there yet. You may have to work your regular W-2 job, but you're a cadet 1099er, superior racer. Because that's how it starts. Like when I first started teaching dance classes, I wasn't making gobs of money. I made like maybe 10 grand my first year. Well, that's a start. And it led to other stuff. And so, what do they call it? You're a pledge. That's what it is. I was thinking, what do the Masons call her when you're in a fraternity? You're a pledge. You've pledged. Okay. He's a pledge. He's on his way. He has to go through the seance and the rituals and the killing of the goat. Shh, don't tell anyone. First step, every journey begins with the first step. And so, no, to be part of our distinguished club, you do not have to be making 6 figs, bro, on your 1099. I haven't made 6 figs on 1099 income. It's being able to tell your boss to fuck off. That, I think, that's it. It doesn't get any higher order than that. That's level 43, Scottish Rite with clusters. Scott Lutke for $5. What's the likelihood of companies in the U.S. providing a cost of living raise to employees due to the inevitable inflation? There's a very high likelihood because they will put that in there, but they'll use the CPI. They won't look at healthcare costs, insurance costs, auto costs, housing costs, and tuition for those. And they're certainly not going to give you tuition reimbursement. I will take an employer much more seriously if they offer tuition reimbursement or a little bit of tuition help. But no, they'll look at the CPI, 2%, because that's the price of paper. Ugh. We don't look at rent, no. Although in San Francisco now you get a pay decrease because everyone's leaving. Shitting in the streets down in San Francisco. Shitting in the streets in New York City. Shitting in the streets. Whether you like feces or brown, yellow pee. Shitting in the streets. Sweet feces, sweet feces. There is feces everywhere. Come on, every guy around the nation, grab a feminist with armpit hair. Doesn't matter what you are, as long as you are non-binary. Come on, every guy around the world, grab a girl and take a dump as we shit. Never mind. Okay, that's enough. All right, see you guys later. Links to all my stuff down below. Also, we must defeat Rich Cooper. We have to, ever since the dawn of time, Rich Cooper, the evil Canadian, has always aimed to have better book sales than me. So everyone go buy my book so I outrank him. Like, it just has to happen for like 5 seconds. I get the screenshot like, aha! And then you guys don't have to buy it anymore. All right, see you guys later. Toodles.